Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Dior, and this is Arkham Horror, the card game. We're doing Dunwich Legacy again, and we got Lost in Time and Space as our last scenario here. Shuffle the encounter deck. Take a look at this. All is one. Pathways of sound and color extend for an eternity in all directions. Dotted with impossible architecture and overgrown with alien wildlife. The lines between objects are jagged and shifting, and your skin feels as if it were inside out. After you are moved to a location by an encounter card effect, take one horror for Doom to advance. Out of this world, somehow you must find your way across this alien landscape in order to find the nexus that was described in Old Watley's tome. As an action, you can discard the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose a location discarded by this effect, and resolve its revelation ability. 4 clues to advance. We don't have tablets or elder things, so it's just going to be skulls, which is -1 for each extra dimensional location in play. Max is -5. Right now we have 0. The cultist is reveal another token. If you fail after the skill test ends, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a location is discarded, put that location into play, and move there, which will, of course, hurt you, do essentially a horror to you as well. All right. It also could technically, I guess, it could teleport you, I guess. That's kind of strange. In any case, let's go ahead and shuffle this, and let's get going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, starting with the red clock already. So one thing I was kind of curious about. So yeah, you could, with Torn to Power, you could actually probably do some cheeky things with red clock. Obviously, it would work better with the full power, the level 5 red clock, but even with the level 2 one, you can get up to like 3 charges on it, get the extra action, and then use Torn to Power to get it back down to 2 charges. And then next round get the extra action again. So that's kind of interesting. So right now, we could do Close the Circle with 3 actions. Dragon Pull. I'm not... no Torn of Power, no String of Curses. And we'll just go from here. Oh, jeez. Alright, Zebulon Watley. At least use that to kind of survive, I guess. Yeah, this is going to probably be another slow start, but that's okay. Over here, of course, we do our favorite thing, which is drawing 13 cards. Okay, 13 cards. We'll do it this way. Okay, plenty to work with here. I'm not super desperate for String of Curses for this run, so I'll put that down. Deny existence. We can do the Honed Instinct. That could actually be pretty good. 3, 4, and 5. All right. 8 cards. Shuffle this, and we'll go ahead and get started. So, nothing too special here, besides the fact that it has 6 Shroud and it's annoying. All right. So, let's go ahead and I'm going to start with Makachi first. We're going to spend 2 to get out red clock, which will start with 1 charge because of her ability. And then I'm going to spend 3 resources to get out Zebulon Watley, which will get her up to 6 there. And then last action, I'm just going to draw a card. Okay. Not too terrible. So yeah, with this, we can get 4 charges on Close the Circle. And that's pretty decent. Safina. let's go ahead and spend 5 to get out Leo DeLuca. We do have muscle memory now, so anytime I play an asset, I can actually trigger Honed Instinct. I'm going to use the Painted World, and it costs 0 because of Impulse Control. And this will give me 2 extra actions. So one of those, I'll refresh this one, and I'm just going to tap this to represent that I'm taking that other action. So one of the 2 actions, I will play Geas. I will not, I shall not commit cards starting my turn. Now I get +1 to all my stats. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and, for my other action that I got from Honed Instinct, we'll go ahead and put that there. I'm going to go ahead and play Easy Mark, gain 2 resources, draw a card. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and spend my Leo DeLuca action to get out Rite of Seeking. I'm then going to go ahead and take an action to do Revelation, so discard top 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I will do it one more time. One, 2, 3. God, that was a lot of monsters. All right. Choose a location discarded by this. We'll pick this one. Okay. Yeah, I'll just keep that out. That's fine. And it doesn't move me, does it? Yeah, it doesn't. So Revelation, put into play, discard a random card from your hand. Which is going to suck because I'm going to lose something useful. Yeah, I lost the Painted World. Okay. That's okay. So what I'll probably do next in the future is grab the Honed Instinct out of this, just so I can have it. But for right now, we're good to go. Enemies, no enemies. Upkeep. Dark Pact. Upkeep. Deny existence. Mythos. First Doom. I choose skills. Wormhole. Discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until a location is discarded, resolve its Revelation effect, and then move. Got a lot of these. All right. Is this the... Yeah, this is just in here. Okay. And then Revelation effect is just put into play. The surge only happens if you draw it during your Mythos phase. I believe that is the case. After drawing or resolving encounter card with the surge keyword. Let's see. Yeah, discard, it says just resolve the Revelation ability. So that is, we are not actually drawing it. Oops. Messed that up. Yeah, it has to be drawing and resolving. Okay, so we're good on that. All right, I do move there too, so we go down there. Discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until the location is discarded, and then blah, 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 then move. Okay. Oh, wait, if this makes me move, I will take a horror. Yep, I will take a horror. So that happened. Okay. And then we have a choice to either put Doom on this or discard it at the end of the round. So we'll probably go to work with that in a second. All right. Let's go ahead and... I'm just seeing kind of what my options are. There are 2 extra dimensional spaces now, so those can potentially fail. Alright, I'll start with Okachi. I will go ahead and add a charge to this, which is going to let me move twice. So I'm going to go ahead and just move down here for... actually, I'll move to here. That's fine. And then... so that was free move from the red clock's 2 charge ability. I'm then going to go ahead and gain a resource. Then spend 2 resources to get out Brandon Kathuga. And then I'm going to gain a resource. And to be honest, this Dark Pact, don't need to worry about it. I actually do not need to play this, because it's the last campaign, or last scenario. Alright, so yeah, next round I can close the gate and start doing things. Until then, Safina. Let's go ahead and investigate this location. We'll go 3 to 1. -2, we do succeed exactly. Yay for Gius. Next I will go ahead and move. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Honed Instinct out of here, because there's only 1 Painted World left in the deck. Alright. And then for my last action, I am going to go ahead and do Rite of Seeking. This will put us at 7 to 2. So that's 5 to 2. So I'll get 2 clues. And then I can play this Honed Instinct because I passed by 3 or more. Costs 0 to play, and I get 2 actions because of Force of Habit. Oh, and then it gets removed from the game, so we do actually put it over here, which is not a big deal because I don't plan on cycling through my deck anyway. All right. So the question is can I investigate this location with, 3 to 2? I think not. Let's spend an action drawing a card. Okay, that's a problem. That's going to hurt me. All right. Well, my last action, I'll go ahead and draw another card. Okay. And that's it on that front. At the end of your turn, I'll take 1 direct damage. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, upkeep. Oh, and then at the end of the round, blah, blah, blah. Oh, also, if the last clue is found here, it would discard it. So we probably don't want to mess with that. It would help a bit, but no, we don't want to mess with it. Upkeep. Spirit Speaker. Upkeep. Another British Bulldog. Okay. This will be our second Doom. If there are no exponential locations in play, gain Surge. Otherwise, test X. Will X, where X is the number of locations. For each point you fail by, take 1 horror. So 6 to 2. So that's -2, so that's 4 to 2. So I do pass. I passed a treachery, so I'm gonna with a will check. So I'll draw a card, and then over here, any extra dimensional location has Hunter. Oh, also this goes away. Actually, it should have been it should have only been a 1 check there. Anyway. Okie dokie. So this has to spawn here, so it is going to spawn here. And it's going to flip this to Doom and be placed on it. And then since there's no clues left here, it's going to get discarded. We're going to get yanked back, and we're both going to take 1 horror. Alright. Other than that, it's just a monster Yithian, 4 fight, 2 evade, 3 health. Hits for 1 health and 2 horror. So I got that going for us. Okay. Investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Akachi. So first things first, let's get our charge on this, which will give us an extra action. I'm just going to tap it to show I'm using it. So for my extra action, I am going to go ahead and attack this Interstellar Traveler with the Brandika Thugga. This will make it 8-4. I do pass. That puts it, 5-4. So I pass. I'm going to spend 3 charges to kill it. And that gets rid of the doom that was on it. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and untap that now because it doesn't matter. I'm going to spend 2 resources to get out Close the Circle. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 4 because of the her ability. So 4 charges on this. Okay. I'm then going to go ahead and at this point, I will go ahead and discard top 3. 1. Oh my god, I did it again. It's when I mouse over it. It decides to be just not a good friend. Alright. So yeah, if I'm holding a card and I mouse over the reshuffle, it auto-plays it. Yeah, and right-clicking does the exact same thing. There we go. Sorry about that. Alright, let's try this again. I spent the action already. Yeah, spent the action already. Oh, actually, no, I have not spent the action. Yeah, I used red clock to fight, use this place, close the circle, so the last one's going to be this. 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's getting discarded. Does this even connect? Yeah, it does. Alright, I'm going to choose Endless Bridge and put that into play. Alright, then I'm going to go ahead and move down there. I do lose 2 resources as well, but I don't have any resources to lose. I'm going to move down here, and then I'm going to go ahead and use a charge from Close the Circle to investigate. So we're right now 6-4. And we're just going to go ahead and commit a Moonlight Ritual. So it's going to be 7-4. We succeed, we get a clue. Okay, and with that we can now immediately advance this. Alright, put a light shimmers in the distance and you head toward it to investigate. The wispy light drifts away from you, floating through the realm's strange gateways, ascending the looping staircases, and crossing through barriers you dared not cross earlier. With little chance of finding the nexus on your own, you follow the light, hoping it is guiding you in the right direction. Alright, put the edge of the universe into play. We'll put it down there. Alright, into the beyond. You continue to follow the wisp of light through the treacherous landscape, making it difficult quarry. Though the treacherous landscape makes it a difficult quarry to chase. We have to get to the edge of the universe to advance. Okay, so with that, that is it for Akachi. We'll go ahead and go to Safina. I'm going to go ahead and just spend 2 actions to get this off of me. I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource, and then for my last action, I'm going to go ahead and get out the British Bulldog. So now I have a way of fighting back. Alright. And you have to have at least 2 clues to enter the edge of the universe. Okay. Alright, upkeep phase. Now that closed the circle. Okay. That too can get 4 charges. All right, the Painted World. What can I even copy with that? Okay, we can do something with that. All right, Mythos phase. I'm not leaving the location, so that's still good. If you're in an extra dimensional location, discard it and take 1 damage. Otherwise, take 2 damage. Okay. I don't have any way of stopping that, so I'll take the 1 damage. And I'll take a horror, which I'll put on him. Because it's forcing me to move. I will pick skills. Oh, no, sorry, this is the other thing. Did I make a mistake on the previous one? No, that was the correct one. Okay. Has similar color. All right, I'll take 2 horror. All right. Safina's getting really beat up here. And there's not much I can do about it. All right, it's going to go to... I'll go with Akachi first. I can either place a charge here or take all charges. I'll take all charges. I'll just put these to the side for now. I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to get out the Dragon Pole. And I will probably take advantage of the Spirit Speaker soon. In fact, let's take care of it now. I'm going to go ahead and gain a resource, and then last action, I'm going to go ahead and get out Spirit Speaker. All right, cool. That actually can help out with Red Clock as well. That's kind of neat. All right, Safina. Oh, actually, instead of taking that 2 horror, I'm going to go ahead and use Painted World to copy the Deny Existence and take 0 horror. There we go. See, I'm thinking with my noggin sometimes. Okay, anyway, back to what she was doing. I'm going to go ahead and spin an action and discard top 3. Oh my god, I was about to mouse over it again. Okay, so this will come into play, but it's not going to be connected to anything. And then draw the topmost hex in the encounter discard pile. It'll be this card. I pick skills. Other than that, it doesn't do anything. Okay. I'll go ahead and spend another action, discarding top 3. All right. Yeah, this is just all I'm doing is resolving the revelation. I'm not resolving the surge because I'm not drawing it. All right. I mean, I can go here to get a clue, I guess, but that's not exactly something I want to do right now. I mean, we can actually leave it. We can actually leave it and play with Doom, so it's not a big deal. Again, discard top 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll lose 2 resources. Okay. All right. I have 1 action remaining. I'm going to go ahead and move down to a tear in space, a tear through space, and then we'll put a Doom on it, but it's just going to get removed, so I'm not going to place it. Upkeep. Okay, Thieves Kit. Alright, now we have a means of getting resources. Mythos. That's going to advance. Alright, Familiar Echoes. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck, then discard cards from the top until a location is discarded. Lead Investigator will resolve it. Okay. Discard a random card in your hand. Can you randomly discard a basic weakness? 1 second. All right. So hitting cards don't apply for this. Hitting cards you can't discard even through a random. But for other weaknesses that stay in your hand, if you discard it randomly, you do in fact discard it. So that works out. Okay. Anyway, continue with this. Check the we did not fail to save the student, so we're good to go on that. Next, we got past, present, and future. As you cross this realm, you catch occasional glimpses of reality, scenes from old memories, more recent visions from the past few days, and sometimes even events that you do not remember ever happening. All right, for Doom to advance. Let's go ahead and I did shuffle this. I'm good to go on that. Okay. This does search. Any extra dimensional location. So I could have it hang out with me for now. In fact, I will. Yeah, I'll have it hang out with Kachi here. It will flip this to Doom, which is fine. Any extra dimensional location? We'll put it over here with the other one. Okie dokie. We have a lot of things out right now. Akachi, you're going to be on your own. You're on your own. Good luck. It was nice knowing you. Okay. So what I'm going to do with Savina here is I'm going to go ahead and use Leoluca to move. Then I'm going to move again. I will go ahead and discard this. To move down here. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to gain a resource, and then I'm going to go ahead and spend a Rite of Seeking here. It's a little too risky for me to try anything else, so I'm going to do it this way: 7 to 2. Well, that's why I was doing it. All right. As you're at the end of your turn, I will spend 2 resources to stay here and not collapse it. All right. So that's going to be a little rough. All right. Goes to Akachi. We'll go ahead and put a charge on this. So this will make it so our next skill test will be at +3. I'll go ahead and let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to do Branicathuga. Well, actually, it'll be what, 8 to 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You know what? We'll attack with the Dragon Pole. And then this will be our +3 for this. So it's going to be 5, 8. It'll be 8 to 4. Okay. Takes 2 damage. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this and use a charge from it to attack again. This will be at 6 to 4. Kills it. Then I will go ahead and use Branicathuga on the other one. This will be 8 to 4. I'll use 3 charges to kill it. And I think I'm just going to do I have any way of... I have a few ways to get stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to move over this way. Alright, that is everyone, so we'll go straight into upkeep. Hey, Arcane Initiate. Alright. Oh. Remove from the game. Shuffle this back in. Okay. Mythos. Oh, also at the end of this, I'm going to let these get discarded. Alright, first doom has been placed. Beyond the Veil. I'll take it, I have to. That will get discarded. And I get attacked by a Yuthian Observer. Okay. If you're an extra-dimensional location, discard it and take 1 damage. I'm gonna stop you from doing that. I'll spend a resource to do Ward of Protection. And I'll take a horror for that. Okay, I'm going to start with Akachi. Akachi, do your best. Actually, no, I'll start with Safina, because this is going to be important. I have to get 1 clue from this location. So I'm going to do a regular investigate. Will be 3 to 2. We got it. Oh, I only have... Did I not grab a clue along the way? I didn't. Okay, we'll go ahead and grab another clue. 3 to 2. Okay, we got it. I just have to have the clues in hand to make this work. Alright, go ahead and move down. Oh, sorry, I did that wrong. Actually, it's still good to go, I think. So if you enters the edge of the universe, advance. The world's edge. You reach an impossibly dense, pitch black void, and realize that this place is where all of reality, all that is, and all that ever will be ends. And at its center, you see a minuscule rift suspended just out of reach. When you peer through the tear, you are surprised to see the peak of Sentinel Hill. Somehow you've reached the other side of the rift. Now you must find a way to close it for good. All right. That's it, right? I didn't forget anything, did I? Puts into play. Enter the edge of the universe. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're good. Close the rift. The unearthly stones on the ground are inscribed with some sort of seal. Approaching them causes a voice to enter your mind, speaking in an alien tongue. Only investigators at the edge of the universe may spend the requisite number of clues as a group to advance. Alright, well, we're at the edge of the universe, and we can't draw cards anymore. So, yeah, we got that going for us. I'm going to go ahead and take my last action to investigate this, using Rite of Seeking. This will put us at 7 to 2, and we'll get 2 clues. So the good news is, because it said you're not spending the clues, you just have to have clues. So with this, I should hopefully be able to get through this soon. All right, meanwhile, Kachi. We'll go ahead and put a charge on Red Clock. Which will let me move twice, so I'm not going to move anywhere, though. I'll go ahead and... let's see, I will go ahead and... I'm 6 to 4. Let's go ahead and... We'll use Close the Circle and do a fight here. We'll be 6 to 4. Okay, we do 1 damage. Then I'm going to go ahead and use Brand of Cthugha. This will put us at 8 to 4. I'll spend 3 charges. and kill it. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust this. Choose an asset you control with useless charges. Either return the asset to your hand or move all charges from the asset to your resource pool. I'm going to go ahead and draw this into my hand as a lightning bolt, and then I'm going to spin 2 to replay it. Okay. So we got that going for us. And then for my last action, I'm going to just gain a resource. Because if I can get my other close the circle out, I'll be in better shape. Okay. Nothing else is going on here. Go to upkeep. All right. We'll just do. I can't draw a card, so I'm just going to do this. Gain a resource. Okay. Mythos. 2 of 4. Discard cards on the top of the encounter deck until bad stuff happens. Okay. Alright. Alright. Resolve the revelation ability, then move to that location. I'm going to lose 2 resources. And now I'm over here. Conglomeration of spheres. Good news is I have a gun. Bad news is this thing's going to cost me some time. Alright. I mean, I could try evading him, but that's not super reliable either. Alright, I'm going to start with Safina. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this thing with the British Bulldog. This will put you 7 to 1. Okay, I'm going to do it again, 7 to 1. Good. I'll do it again, 7 to 1. Alright, it's dead. Okay. I'm going to spend an action gaining a resource, and that'll be it for me. The good news is I don't have to worry about drawing a weakness while I'm in this state. Oh, actually, better idea. Instead of gaining a resource, I'm going to grab a Drawn to the Flame here and put it in my hand. There we go. Alright, still takes an action, so that's it on that front. Meanwhile, Akachi will get a charge on this. So I get an extra action from this. What do I want to spend this extra action on is the problem. I'm going to use it to gain a resource. I know it's kind of lame, but that's really my only option. I'm going to go ahead and exhaust Spirit Speaker, and anything that has charges, I can move the charges to my resource pool. So I'm going to pick Red Clock and gain 3 resources. This kind of mitigates the bad part about level 2 Red Clock, right? Because the level 5, the way it works is you can both get the charges and gain a charge at the same time. Alright, in any case, that was the Red Clock action and the Lightning Bolt, and then I'm going to spin 2 to get out my other Close the Circle, which should have 4 charges. Okay. Then I'm going to use a Close the Circle here to investigate. 6 to 4. We get a clue. I'm going to go ahead and use this Close the Circle to investigate using Willpower again. 6 to 4. Get a clue. And then I guess I can just go and resolve resolve this for both people. So let's do that. 1, 2. This will get removed. And then as a group, we can spend 6 clues. But I can also grab the clues here while I'm at it. But I don't have the means to do that. So we'll just spend the 6 clues at the edge of the universe to advance. Remove the edge of the universe from the game. Put the set aside terror through time location into play. You're utterly exhausted. You have no idea as to what can be done to close the rift. It is too distant to touch, and nothing you do has any effect. There's nothing here to guide you apart from the unearthly words that are seeping into your mind. Just then, you hear a familiar voice within the echoing chorus, and feel yourself compelled to repeat it. You whisper at first the words on the tip of your tongue. You close your eyes to concentrate, and the echo grows louder. When it ends, you open your eyes and you face nothing but an inky abyss, and the terror has vanished. So this will get removed from the play, which is going to yank us back this way. So we only take horror if we're moved by an encounter card effect. And this is not an encounter card effect, but 1 second. Yep, it's a scenario card, but it's not an encounter card. So we don't trick, that doesn't hurt us. We do remove it from the game. Bye-bye you. And then we put in the tear through time location. All right. And then with no clear way out of this dimension, you seek another path. All right. And if we get, and then we just got to essentially resign at this point, which we'll have to do it through tear through time, which I believe you need 2 clues to do as well. All right. So with all that said and done, let's go ahead and use my last action to move. We're just going to go hang out over here. All right. Upkeep. All right. I don't need to worry about anger spirits because I don't care about the trauma. Okay. We have honed instinct. I believe this is our last one. Nope. We got one more. All right, Mythos, 3 of 4. Any extra dimensional location? We will put you over here and put a doom on you. It doesn't really matter because it's going to advance anyway, so I just don't want to deal with him right now. And then another conglomeration of spheres. Good times. All right. So we need to get to the end somehow. And it's getting kind of difficult to do. Actually, you know what? I will spawn him here. It will flip this, of course, but that's okay. All right, not much I can do here. I'll start with Akachi. Akachi will put a charge here, which means her first skill she does is going to be at +3. I'm going to go ahead and spend a resource to do String of Curses to kill this, because it has Doom on it already. It's also not elite. Then I'm going to Lightning Bolt, put this in my hand. Then I'm going to spin 2 to pre-play it. Then I'm going to exhaust it and take an action with it. It's going to be 9 to 2. We get a clue. I'm then going to take an action to discard top 3. Well, I get a choice, but it's not much of a choice. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do it again. I will do it one more time. Alright, I will spend a charge to do it. Oh, actually, I can't do it there because it has to be a basic action. That's it for her. Alright, in the meantime, I gotta deal with this conglomeration of sphere somehow. I mean, I can punch it a bunch, but that's about it. It's gonna hit for 1 and 1. Oh, I could have done Think on Your Feet. I will go ahead and do that, actually. So this would have happened when it spawned on top of me. So yeah, I'll use that to move to a connecting location. Then I'm going to go ahead and gain 2 resources. Then spend 3 resources to get out my Thieves Kit. I'm going to play Hone Instinct because I played an asset. Gets removed from play, but I get 2 actions immediately. I'm going to use one of those actions to discard 3 cards. I believe this goes down here. Alright. Then draw the topmost Madness card in your discard pile. I do not have a Madness card, so we're good to go on that front in that part. Alright. I'll go ahead and spend an action to move down there. I'm then going to go ahead and spend an action to investigate using Thieves Kit. This will be 6 to 3. Alright, so that was 5 to 3, so I get 1 clue and 2 resources. Alright. Some progress has been made. Alright, we're going to go straight into... Oop, didn't mean to do that. We'll go straight into enemy phase, which is just going to make this thing come down here to say hello. I'm going to get hit for 1 and 1. Yeah, I'm okay with that. All right, and then upkeep. Okay, we got call for backup. At this point, I have everything but Survivor. Oh, I don't have Seeker either. Yeah, so I don't have Survivor or Seeker. All right, upkeep. Okay, well, my last Honed Instinct. Okay. All right, Mythos. This will advance. Shuffle the encounter discard pile, discard until location. Okay, same thing as before. Okay, this will make you discard a random card. Okay, I'm okay with that. Yeah, unfortunately, those are not connected. Oh, also, I was going to go ahead and discard this. Because I don't need it in play. Alright. We have at least one name sacrificed to Yog-Sothoth. You hear a familiar voice calling out to you, and you enter an impossibly shaped building of crackstone. No, don't, the voice cries. You rush toward the voice, down a set of steps, steep, narrow stairs. Upon reaching the bottom, you find yourself in the hidden chamber from Dunwich. Bound by shackles, you see those you failed to save, bloodied and maimed. A creature with a man's face feeds from a corpse on the ground. The head of the corpse turns to you, and a sharp pain stabs your heart. X is the number of names that have been sacrificed. It was 1. And so yeah, we'll go 6 to 1. Pass. 5 to 1. We pass by a lot. And I can take a card from under here. I will take the... I'll take the String of Curses. Alright, so 1 card left underneath. Okay, now we get to draw things. Choose skills. Alright, if I'm in an extra dimensional location, discard it. I don't have a way of stopping that, do I? I do not. Alright, so I'm going to take 1 damage and 1 horror. So I'll put the damage here. I'll put the horror there. And unfortunately, this goes bye-bye. And you go all the way back to start. Okay. And this gets discarded. Okay, so we got all that to deal with. Akachi. Spend an action. Actually, yeah, I'll start with Akachi. I'll get a charge on this. I can move twice, but it doesn't really matter. I want to go ahead and attack with Brandikathuga. Good to go. I'll spend 3 charges. I'll do it again. Spend 3 charges. And it's dead. Okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and discard top 3. At least got 1 location. Okay, this comes into play. Oh yeah, breaking through. Throughout this warp dimension, no matter where you travel, there is a haunting shape in the distance. At first, it appears as a disc, like a black moon with many wriggling arms. But as time passes, you can tell it is growing larger and larger. Okay, that is all my actions. I'm going to go ahead and spend a charge here to move. And then I'm going to spend a charge here to investigate. 6 to 1. I'll grab a clue, and that'll be it for her. Yeah, that's fine. I can do it that way. I can have the Doom. I can have this be removed later. Okay. Safina. I know you're not in the best of shape right now. I'm going to go ahead and spend 3 to go ahead and replace my Bulldog with a new one. Then I'm going to discard top 3. Alright, so we have everything connected again. I do lose 2 resources, but that's okay. Oh, I also played an asset. Since I played an asset, I will go ahead and use Honed Instinct. That'll get me my actions back, essentially. And then I will move here. Then I'm going to investigate using a Thieves Kit. 6 to 4. I passed by enough. I'll get a clue here and 2 resources. I'm going to go ahead and investigate. At this point, I'm just going to move twice. This will get removed from play. And down to here. Spend 2 clues to resign. You find a new path and hope that it leads you back to safety. Okay. I don't have the action to actually do that, but it is available to me now. Alright. So that is everybody. Let's go ahead and I'll put a Doom on this for this round. And we'll see how things go from here. Alright. Upkeep. Upkeep. And Mythos. 2 of 6. Discard it and take 1 damage. Alright. This gets discarded. I'll take a damage and a horror. I'm going to put the damage on Zebulon Watley. And I'll take the horror. Any extra-dimensional location. Not, when a location leaves play, each investigator and unengaged enemy cannot be canceled. Okay. I'm going to put him here. This will flip the doom. This gets removed, and then it goes here, and then it encounters him. Or her, rather. And then we'll go ahead and get started. Investigation phase. I'll start with Akachi. She's going to get a third charge, which will give her an extra action. I'm going to use that action to play String of Curses. I'll cost 1. I'll gain 1 from killing this. And then I'm going to go ahead and use Spirit Speaker here to gain 3 resources. And then I'm going to reveal cards. 1, 2, 3. Do it again. Reveal cards. 1, 2, 3. It goes in play at least. I'll do it again. 1, 2, 3. All right. Kind of stuck here. All right. Goes to Safina. Safina is going to go ahead and discard top 3 as well. 1, 2, 3. She's going to go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3. She'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. All right. This will come into play now. She will lose 2 resources, which is fine. Last action, she's going to spin 2 clues and get out of here. Okay. That is it for Safina. Goes straight into just Akachi now. Mythos. Oh, also, we'll get rid of these tear through space. 2 through 6 again. Arcane Barrier. All right. I will go ahead and go. I will go ahead and do the will check first. Sorry, I get a charge here. First skill test I make is going to get +3, so I'm going to be 8 to 4 here. That is -3, so I do pass. Yep, I do pass, so this gets discarded. And I move here. Then I move down here. This gets discarded. I'm then going to go ahead and use Close the Circle to move again as a basic action. And then last action, I'm going to go ahead and spend 2 clues and resign. And there you go. We did it. We did the thing. This will advance. Reality beckons. You discover a path that looks somewhat familiar and follow it. Even though your task is complete, you now understand that in closing the tear, you may never make it home. The fear of being lost here forever spurs you onward through an archway leading into an overgrown corridor. A damp wooden door leads you out into a pocket of thin rain and dark sky. Cement turns to gravel, then marble, then steel, then grass. You cross impossibly long meadows and make your way through these dense woods before you fatigue finally sets in. Hold on a second. Okay, no, that's correct. Okay, I was just making sure. Yeah, okay. I was just making sure that that was all correct. It says 2 clues. It doesn't say 2 per. Okay, anyway, back what I was doing. Turns to gravel, marble, then steel, then grass. You cross impossibly long meadows and make your way through dense woods before fatigue finally sets in. Drained of all your energy, you cannot go any further. Your body gives out. Resolution 1. We close the tear in reality. We get 2 physical trauma, 2 mental trauma, and that is the gist of it. Good stuff. All right. Yeah, I don't think I think I've only done one run where I have actually spawned Yog-Sothoth, and I've never tried to kill him. But yeah, not too shabby. So yeah, we end this. We get two physical and mental trauma. So it'd be something like this. And yeah, that's the game. All right. So yeah, I believe I mentioned earlier I had been playing some investigators I was not as familiar and good with or even liked. And so this run was definitely a nice cleanse. Things went really, really well. We did have a lot of bad luck and weird luck, like that Where Doom Awaits, where we got all those locations shuffled over and over again. We also kept getting the Doom location, which thankfully we did have. We did have Moonlight Rituals, which definitely helped. But even then, like even with our bad luck in some cases, or just really weird shenanigans in Grand 2, or a lot of monsters that just spawned all at once, we still had like tools and things with these characters to actually like solve the problem. And I think that is definitely something that is a good sign for a good investigator, where even when like trouble hits, they can still do something. And that's definitely not the case when I was playing as like Lola or some of the other characters, which you'll see videos of later. Akachi is amazing. Her stat line is really kind of ridiculous. Most characters tend to have 12 points across their stats, and she has 13. And while that doesn't really make a huge difference, having just a 2-book instead of a 1-book means she can at least sometimes investigate if she really needs to. 3 Fist and 3 Foot is fantastic, especially for a Mystic. We've played tons of Mystics at this point. The biggest weakness for Mystic is if they can't get their tools out, i.e. their spells usually. They're kind of stuck because they need spells to actually do their 5 willpower stuff, or 4 willpower. But in the case of Akachi, as long as you can get things out, you can generally... she has 3 fights, so she can at least fight in some capacity, either using Cat Mask or Dragon Pole. I would say not... So the biggest issue with Dragon Pole is you need to get... It requires... Like most weapons that you get out, you're like, okay, I have my weapon out, it gives me a bonus, and it does extra damage. Dragon Pole is not that case. Dragon Pole is something you get out to help set up other things. And Dragon Pole by itself literally does nothing besides give you an additional arcane slot. It only becomes something great once you get about 2 spells out, or 2 rituals out. So that tends to, in this situation, it tends to make Akachi miss her initial draws a lot more often, because you can start with a Dragon Pole in your hand, but that Dragon Pole is practically dead weight in your hand until you get something else to, supplement it. I definitely like Brand of Cthulhu. I do like, Divination. Obviously, the biggest weakness for things like Divination and those things is they have less... economically, the amount of clues and damage you do per charge is less than what you would do with something like Shriveling or Rite of Seeking. But the nice thing about it is generally the only thing you have to worry about is passing by 0. As long as you don't pass by 0, you're good to go. So either you need to pass by more than 0 or fail, and that's generally what usually happens anyway. I don't think there was ever a situation where I passed by 0. Of course, at this point, I would not know if I did or not. I'm sure someone will notice if I did or not. In any case, you can definitely play Akachi as kind of like a standard Mystic where you have, Shriveling, Rite of Seeking, and you'll still get the benefit of her ability. Like, that extra charge will still be very important. But this particular deck that I found in Arkham DB, where it's the 5-element deck, I think it further exemplifies her ability, or I don't even know if exemplifies the right word. It further enhances her ability to the point where it's like she has her own little unique caster build. Because some of the issues that, with Mystics, they generally all have really high willpower. And so they tend to do the same things where it's like, all right, get Rite of Seeking, get Arcane Initiate, get Shriveling. But with Akachi here, you'll start out like that. But once you get, all you need is one experience to get Brand of Cthulhu. Same thing for Divination. So you can very easily get this off the ground to to do other spells and things like that. Close the Circle is really neat. I don't know how many cards actually have the synergy keyword. I know Close the Circle and Call for Backup, and both of these are kind of interesting cards. Call for Backup tends to be kind of iffy, but you can still commit it for a while if you're desperate. The only thing I didn't do with the Kachi build was I didn't ever get Relic Hunter. With Relic Hunter, I could have gone Red Clock and Holy Rosary, which would have been nice. Blood Pact, I think, was a bad call on my part. I never remember to use it, and I'm never comfortable. I don't like placing Doom on things, which I quickly found out when I was looking at Amina Zidane. I don't like playing where I have to purposely put Doom down. So in most cases with Blood Pact, I tend to, whenever I was fighting, I usually had enough bonuses where I didn't need to use this anyway. So this ended up just kind of being dead weight, and I ended up kind of just wasting 3 experience in the beginning. That 2 experience from the Arcane Research could have gone towards something else, like upgrading, Ward of Protection sooner. And that 1 experience remaining could have been used to get another, like, Divination or Brand of Cthulhu. So yeah, I've already made an update on my deck to not include Blood Pact. One thing also to kind of flesh out this deck a little bit better is I did put in Spectral Razors. That way, at least I have something to fight with if I don't, draw my other stuff, or I can get it out with Arcane Initiate. I think that's a little bit better. But besides that, the rest of the stuff, like getting access to Red Clock 2, like I mentioned, Red Clock 2 is generally not seen as particularly fantastic. It's very, very sluggish is the biggest issue, unlike Red Clock 5. But in the case of Akachi and Spirit Speaker, I think that combination seems to work rather well. Speaking of Spirit Speaker, I didn't really play this much. It is very useful. Like, don't get me wrong. It goes great with Red Clock because you can use this to get the charges off of it instead of wasting an entire turn for that. But also, just being able to put these cards back in your hand and replay them, I think, is rather powerful. Speaking of playing these things, Brand of Cthulhu, Close the Circle, and Divination all cost like 2 or 3, which is much cheaper than the 4 or 5 that you usually spend for Shriveling and Rite of Seeking. So I definitely was feeling that, because economy was definitely hurting for Akachi for a lot of cases. But as you can see, once you get the engine running, I get these Close the Circles here are extra actions. Like, each of these can do 2 more actions. They have to be basic actions, but that's fine. And in the basic actions, while you're doing them, you'll be able to use your willpower. So you can even use it for investigating, which is what I had to do here because I never drew the divination. Also, I didn't really talk about Divination 4. So Divination 4, the biggest difference is it gets 2 extra charges. And of course, you can also spend up to 3 to get 3 clues instead. Also, if you do pass by 0 with this, it makes you discard 2 cards. But unfortunately, we didn't really get enough for that. we never got the divination out. Torrent of Power is generally seen as not too fantastic because it uses up charges. But for Akachi or anyone that's using things like Red Clock and things like that, I think it can become essentially a Promise of Power without having to get the curse, which I think is pretty good. Also, I really would love to try this with like Red Clock and get up to 3 charges and then remove a charge just so I can go immediately to the extra action again. Besides that, Arcane Initiates are pretty good. It's generally one of the few things I'm fine with having a Doom on it. Cat Mask is fine. Honestly, it was kind of redundant in most cases, but it was nice to have whenever I needed it. I never drew Chronophobia. Probably one of the decks I tend to have the most struggle with is ones that require a lot of asset play, as you can see with all these assets out here. But for this one, I definitely felt a bit more comfortable with it once it started going. And for the most part, there's not a lot of skill uses in here. Prophetic is really, really nice. If you can get it out early, it's fantastic. Unfortunately, I wasn't the luckiest getting this out, but once you have it out, it kind of solves all of her economy problems. So, pretty good thing to have there. Anyway, enough rambling about Akachi. Let's talk about Safina. So this is the first time I've played Safina, and honestly, it went fantastic. I think part of it was going with Karen's Oval, which I don't have any regrets taking. I think the extra 2 XP is very nice. The only thing that could do that if you really want to go like balls to the walls with freaking Safina here, you can go, in the thick of it, Karen's Oval, and you can also grab both of these arcane researches. But doing that would literally make her a 5/5 for her health and sanity, and it's super dangerous. But if you can pull it off, the amount of XP you'll have every scenario would be just absolutely ridiculous. It pretty much means you'll have 2 experience to spend on upgrading either your Rite of Seekings, your Spectral Razors, and so forth. So pretty crazy stuff there. I don't remember what changes I made to this deck. One thing at least on my personal deck is I made a checklist of like what things to upgrade, because I was definitely going pretty blind in the beginning. I was just kind of picking things. The only thing I was kind of sure about was grabbing Geas. This deck has 0 skills in it, so I was completely okay with not committing. And that definitely helped her out quite a bit. As you can see, it makes her a 5/3/3/5, which is rather strong. I did start with Arcane Initiates in the beginning instead of Leo DeLuca, and I think that's still a good call. I think you should just upgrade into Leo DeLuca when you're ready. The only time I was comfortable with grabbing Leo DeLuca is once I had, another day, another dollar, and these upgraded Thieves kits. I do like the Thieves kits. I do like the amount of additional resources. As mentioned before, I definitely like, when I do clooving, I tend to use things that let me get multiple clues to make up for tempo. But being able to gain resources as you're gaining just, little bits of clues here and there is also very, very good. The British Bulldog was nice. I feel like I should have upgraded this sooner. But at the same time, I didn't really need it that badly because of Spectral Razors and String of Curses. I absolutely do love String of Curses. As of recording this, there's been information about the latest, was it the City in the Deep or whatever the newest expansion is, and they have a new spell coming out that is going to be a 3-cost parlay that can insta-kill non-elites. That might be something I'm willing to try out with Safina and other characters. Safina definitely has a lot of similar issues as any other Mystic, though. All of her stats require her to have items or assets out to actually use her stats, because she has agility and willpower, and both require something, like British Bulldog for agility, Thieves Kit for agility, Rite of Seeking, your spells for willpower, and so forth. Leo DeLuca has been a good call. Honestly, being able to draw 13 cards on the very beginning is insanely strong. There was never a run where I never whiffed on getting my 5 events down. Granted, majority of my deck is events, which is what helps it, but it went really well. Dread Curse was a pretty light weakness. We only drew it a couple of times, and every time we drew a curse token, usually it was something that was going to auto fail anyway, or fail anyway, or it was something I passed. So a lot of cases it didn't really matter. Ace in the Hole is fantastic. It is worth the 6 XP. No question about it. This is the first run where we actually upgraded our Honed Instinct to something more than just impulse control, and I didn't really do it until the very end, but that Force of Habit, getting those extra actions is really, really strong. The question is just finding the time to actually upgrade it over something else. But at the very least, I definitely recommend getting Impulse Control at the very least, just so I can get an extra one of a Honed Instinct and make it cost 0. And then after that, it's really kind of played by ear. The only things that really I would say you upgrade first is grab your Geas, upgrade your Rite of Seekings, and then after that, you're kind of in control. Personally, I would go for another day, another dollar as soon as possible, just so you can get some assets in the beginning. Obviously, we did have easy marks, but I didn't want to rely heavily on easy marks because we can draw into our weakness for that, and it can be kind of crazy. Painted World's fantastic, by the way. We usually had 1 or 2 in our hand in the beginning, and that can let you do a lot of flexible things in your starting hand, depending on what events you have. Like, for example, we did one where we had the easy mark face down, and then we used our Painted Worlds to just get a bunch of free assets and cards, or free resources and cards. I think that was pretty good as well. So yeah, I definitely would love to play Safina again. Like I said, the only thing I probably was a little iffy about is Streetwise. We did use it a few times. But it was usually a situation where I just didn't have my other assets to actually play, and I was just desperate to get clues or desperate to get an evasion off. I think I shouldn't have picked it up as early as I did. Also, I tend to forget I have it. That was the other issue. Same thing for Blood Pack. I tend to forget I have it. So I don't think I would open with getting Streetwise as early as I did, but getting Geas, I think I did Geas and Streetwise as my first things. Instead, I should have done like Geas and then maybe another day, another dollar. Or, I don't remember when I did Rite of Seeking, but eventually we did go with that as well. Anyway, so yeah, even though she's a rogue class, she is definitely very much a caster type character, which I'm completely fine with. As you can probably guess, with all the female characters and with majority of them being mystics and cloovers and things like that, I'm pretty used to having characters that just don't use weapons. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of Guardian 0 to 5 female characters. There's Zoe, technically Lily Chen, though hers is kind of iffy. I believe there's Sister Mary, and that's it. Daniela only gets level 0, and Carolyn gets I think up to level 3 or 4. In any case, she can't really use weapons besides level 0 anyway. There is going to be a new Guardian coming out, but by the time you guys have see this video, the expansion will probably be fully out by then, in which case we'll have another Guardian player to play with, who apparently has 1 arm or something. Anyway, now that I've dated this video quite a bit, yeah, I'm very happy that we got to get through Dunwich again, and it went pretty smooth. There was definitely some frustration with a lot of the auto fails we got, because we did get a lot of them. Like, I got a lot of back-to-back auto fails, which is kind of crazy. My rules mistakes were far fewer, at least it felt like it on my end. I only had to restart a couple times, and most of those errors honestly were not that bad. But I wanted to try to at least get it somewhat perfect. So I do intend on moving on and doing Carcosa again. I would like to try to. There's that one scenario that always wrecks me, and I would like to try to see if I can actually beat it once. I don't know how well it's going to go, because I'm going to be trying, I believe it's Patrice is a character. She's a survivor character, and I've never played her, and the deck I have is also going to be kind of difficult. But I just want to try her out and see how she goes. She's definitely not as bad as any of the other characters, I feel, as far as figuring out what I'm going to do with her. I just have never played that type of character before. Patrice would have died in this campaign, though, because of Beyond the Veil. In any case, also just having both characters have, String of Curses and Ward of Protections, and also be using Painted World on Ward of Protections or String of Curses was really, really fun. Gave us a lot of control over the Mythos deck, and even then I was still getting kind of screwed over. Also, I'm very happy that we got, fully cleared Undimensioned and Unseen as well. So, yeah, overall, fantastic. I hope to play these characters in the future again. But for right now, after all this rambling and stuff, I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I am the Depressed Dior. This was Arkham Horror, the card game. We just did Lost Time and Space and finished Dunwich Legacy again with Akachi Oniel and Safina Rousseau. And I'll see you guys next time.